am a striker with UNISON, and we are outside Oldham today, fighting for better overtime pay, because we've just had severe cuts to our overtime. So we recently, overtime got cut to £17, around £17.50 an hour, dropped down from it being above £20 an hour. So we've taken about a 25% pay cut, which isn't fair, especially as some people in the union depend on overtime and NHSP to make a living. They don't have full-time jobs at hospitals, so it's really important that we stand up for them so that they can continue to work with us, and they are truly vital members of the team because they are the ones that cover the staff shortages when we need them. So when the pay cuts happened, we had a lot of staff not being able to pick up extra shifts because they just couldn't afford to do it. That meant we had to cancel lists, close theatres, and that patients weren't getting seen. So when we strike to improve pay, that means more staff will be able to pick up shifts and work, which is going to improve patient outcomes and means patients are going to get seen better. It also means it's safer for the team because safe staffing levels save lives.
I'm Jane Barnes. I'm a UNISON member and I've been a nurse since the 1980s. I have never taken action before, and I just feel very strongly about the issues at the moment because I feel that it's just so unfair. So the hospital's taking part in this dispute is Bury, Rochdale, Oldham, Salford. There's recently been a similar dispute with the ICU and CCU's nurses and workers, and they have won a partial victory. Unfortunately, it didn't apply to all the staff working in that area, which, again, not very fair.
So, my name's Ian. I'm a band 7 here at the Royal Oldham Hospital. I'm also a UNISON representative shop steward, and we've currently been on strike for an increase in our pay conditions as per Jennifer Change. So the group involved was all intensive care nurses that include every band from 2 to 7 and our housekeepers and ward clerks. Some of the members at Salford went to UNISON and they asked for a formal grievance process to be put in place. From that, all the critical care units within the NCA became part of that grievance, and we went to ballot and got a mandate to strike for the ability to be able to have NHSP and or overtime as part of our normal working practice. We undertook a course of strike action, industrial action. We have done, I think it was 3 separate episodes of strikes. We started with a 24-hour strike, then we went to a 2-day strike and then a 3-day strike. On the 3-day strike, one of the days was decided that we wouldn't do one of those days because the trust had come to us with some discussions, and in an interest of goodwill, it was deemed that we would remove that strike down to a 2-day strike to enable us to speak with the trust to kind of further the cause. They didn't offer us everything that we wanted. They basically offered bands from HCA, so band 3 HCA and 2 HCAs up to band 7s, that if we wanted to work overtime, we could work overtime, and that would be an average of 16 shifts out of 17 weeks, and that would be averaged over the year. The only exception was that it did not include housekeepers and ward clerks. Because the trust came and gave us that, which was the majority of what we'd asked for, that was taken back to ballot to the members, and the members balloted and returned just yesterday in favour of accepting the deal. So the strike action, what was set, we're going to do a 5-day strike next week. Obviously that's not now going to happen, and we've accepted the trust's agreement to allow us to do it all the time, as I've just mentioned. I personally aren't massively happy with that. I would have liked the housekeepers and the ward clerks to be involved as well, I feel it's unfair that one small group has been ostracised from this and singled out and won't be getting the same conditions that the rest of us are getting. But that's my own personal opinion. Obviously, the other members, my other work colleagues, felt it appropriate to accept the deal, and as a union member, I have to go alongside that. And it's, as part of being a union, you know, our colleagues all have the right to choose what they want to choose, and that's why we have the ballot process, and I have to respect their right to that, even if I don't agree with it. It makes a massive difference, you know. I mean, we're not talking huge amounts, but from my point of view, it's just the fact that we're allowed to go back to our original terms and conditions of agenda change, because we were taken out of that without any kind of recourse. We weren't put to ballot about it, we weren't informed about it, we just turned up to work one day and you were told you've got to have an HSP now, overtime is finished. So I'm quite happy that we're kind of back on track with that we've kind of gained some of our rights back and some of our contractual rights back. Financially, people will be much better off because they'll be getting paid whatever their band is, plus the enhancement like at time and half time, a quarter, double time. But they also still have the right to do NHSP as they want to, which I think is the right course of action. ICU within our trust was the first area that I believe in the country to highlight this and take it to the union. It's slowly gaining momentum, so like today here is the theatres of our trust. I've gone to mandate for the exact same thing. Knocking on from us, I believe that the Countess of Chester and there's another, I think it's Bath, there's a couple of hospitals now, maybe one in Leeds as well, have all kind of found out what we've been doing and have all started to take individual actions themselves, and in quite a few other trusts they're now getting mandates to strike for the same reasons that we've just done.
The Trust introduced NHSP, and we're all a bit short-term, people have got bills, and we took it because we could have the money sooner, but that money was never got added to our pension and things like that. So people in general saw a quick win, and the Trust did it in order not to put money in our pensions. It was a bargain. However, now they want the cake and eat it. They want to not pay us overtime rates for overtime, pay us a flat rate, and it's not fair. Thank you, but no. NHP is the way the Trust provides locum shifts now. They put out an NHSP, if it's a shift that suits you, you pick it up. It's replaced agencies mainly. But the main way, an agency staff member used to often be somebody from miles away, somebody who only did agency. NHSP is how we do all our shifts, it's how we cover vacancies and fill gaps in the schedule. The Trust is very NHSP dependent. We depend on these extra shifts. It's very much. It's not a rare occasion. Every day we work with. I work in a team of 5 people, and every day 2 people will be just picked up NHSP, cheeky little extra shift. Everybody's got bills, but you can't have it both ways. The Trust can't defraud us on pension and defraud us on money.
My name's Ryan Palmer. I'm one of the senior ODPs in theatres, just a UNISON striker. NHSP rates have been slashed so much so that my normal hourly rate at work is probably £3-4 more per hour than NHSP are offering, and that's if I'm doing my role. If I was to pick up a band 5 role, it would be mid-range band 5, which would be more than £7-8 nearly below my normal rate. I think anyone, not just myself, but anyone who's doing overtime in their own time, I think should be paid at least their hourly rate and more for an incentive. So I think that's only fair. I think that happens in every kind of workplace that you go to, not just the hospitals, any type of work. It's been atrocious. People are obviously not happy to pick up because it's not worth it in their eyes, and it's a struggle. There's a lot of patients to see to, and lists are massive. So yeah, it's hard daily. It's very, very intense, high pressure environment, and we just want to be paid correctly for the hard work that we do. Yeah, and that's why we're here. They took overtime away from us without our say years ago, and they recently slashed rates for any overtime that you want to pick up for like NHSP or whatever. They slashed those rates, so it's just a bit. Just want to be valued, basically. You know what I mean? That's why we're all here. I think we all put in a really hard shift every day and look after people on a very, very high level. We work a lot of hours, and I think it's only our right to be paid appropriately for that.
I'm pleased to be a nurse. I'm proud to be a nurse. I've worked hard in the NHS for years and years. I'm not asking for anything silly or special, but I would like fair pay for extra work.
I think keep an open mind. I think stick together. I really do think it should be one for all and all for one. Make sure that the deal is right for every single person who's voted to strike and has been on the picket line. Because without their support, you won't be a success in getting yours. And to me, it just feels unfair that there'll be certain sections, if you do accept a partial deal, who will benefit and others won't.
I just think it's really important to support your union and strike if you're able, because the more people that strike, the bigger impact it has on the trust, and that they'll be more willing to negotiate and take better action.